If you want to stop drinking alcohol and you want it to feel easy, you want it to be permanent, but you actually want the whole process to feel fun and enjoyable, then you need to watch this video because there's something that you need to do that most people completely ignore. And that's the reason why most people relapse when they try and stop drinking. And it's because they're missing this thing. Now, this is something I've done in my own life when I stopped drinking alcohol 6.5 years ago, despite struggling for close to 10 years. And it's something I teach all my private clients to. In fact, it's the biggest part of my program. But I'm going to show you how to do it right now for free, because this will change the game for you. So a very quick introduction. My name is Leon Sylvester. I'm the founder of SoberClear.com. That's a coaching company that helps people control their drinking in as little as 48 hours. If you want information, just go to SoberClear.com. But now let me get into the video. So what should you do? Well, when you stop drinking alcohol, you literally have three options. Everybody's got the same three options. And option one is you stop drinking and change nothing, right? You just whatever, watch Netflix, whatever you've been doing up until this point whilst you've been drinking, you just stop drinking and continue things as they were. If that's what you want to do, I can't knock you, I can't say anything, that's on you, but my channel, my message, it's probably not for you. Because to me, I didn't want to stop drinking just for the sake of not drinking alcohol. I wanted to stop drinking alcohol because I wanted more for my life. I think people that just stop drinking alcohol for the sake of it never really make it stick. And I'm going to show you how to make it stick in a second, so just bear with me. But that's option one, is you change nothing. The second option, which is what a huge percentage of people do, is you go to the past. So if you sit with a therapist or a counselor, you're going to go and talk about trauma, right? Childhood. And don't get me wrong, there's a time and a place for this. But for me, right, I've had trauma, right? We all have. Bad things have happened to all of us. And I have gone through therapy before and we went through all of that stuff. But when it comes to not drinking alcohol, I don't see these two things as being related. Now, don't get me wrong. For some people, maybe they are. But for me, when I sat and went through this stuff, it made me feel worse. And I've spoken now with 2,000-3,000 people who have wanted help stopping drinking alcohol. And what people tell me is when they go to the past and they dig up all these old war stories and memories, they feel worse. It ends up making them want to drink more. And this is also a big focus with Alcoholics Anonymous, right? We all sit in a circle and we talk about, our war stories, the old days. I drank more than anybody I knew. And, listen, if that helps people, it helps them. For me, I don't care. I don't want to do that. And another big part of AA is making amendments to people, right? It's going back to all the people you've done damage to and apologizing, right? Writing letters, having conversations. And to me, again, that's got nothing to do with actually not drinking alcohol. Because there is a third option that people don't talk about. And this is the most important thing that you should do if you stop drinking alcohol. I'm not saying that you totally need to ignore the first thing, the second thing, go into the past. Listen, if you want to do it, do it. And the third option you've got is to build a vision for your life. Because when you stop drinking alcohol, something happens. You get more clarity, right? You get more energy. You are able to be more productive. You feel so much better. You're nicer to be around. All of these good things start happening. And when you don't drink alcohol, you change. You're not the same person as when you drank. I've heard this time and time again. People tell me when they stop drinking alcohol in my program, it's like the real them comes back out. The person who they were in their 20s sometimes. I've worked with 60-year-old men that have said that. They've had this youthful step again and they feel this zest for life and like they can do anything. And one of the big things that happened to me is I tried to stop drinking alcohol countless times. So every time I broke that promise to myself, right, if I said, I'm not drinking, I broke it, guess what would happen? My self-esteem would go lower and lower and lower. So then when I told myself, right, I'm going to get a six-pack, right, I'm going to deadlift this much, bench press this much, I have this track record of making promises to myself and breaking them. But I knew the big catalyst that would make the biggest positive change in my life was stopping drinking alcohol. And once I finally did it, then self-belief just spilled into every area of my life. And this is why, when you stop drinking alcohol, you need something to go towards. Running away from pain is never enough because the pain eventually subsides. Just waking up with a hangover and thinking, oh, I probably shouldn't drink again. I mean, yeah, sure, you might not drink for a week. But then what are you going to do once that hangover's gone? And have that little conversation in your mind. Oh, maybe this time's going to be different. Maybe I'll just have a couple. Listen, we've been there before. We know what it's like. But if you stop drinking alcohol because you're going towards something and you see that alcohol definitely doesn't fit into that picture, it's a totally different frame of mind. Completely different. Because what happens is you make a bit of progress in the gym, right? Your relationship gets better with your family, with your wife, with your children, with whatever. Business starts picking up, right? Work starts picking up. People are commenting on things. You start gaining momentum. And if you can make the future the focus, right? If you can start building things and having positive habits instead of just sitting around watching Netflix, guess what happens? Well, after doing that for 6 months, the consequence of you drinking alcohol is destroying all of that progress. I mean, if you just stop drinking alcohol and change nothing about your life, what's the consequence of you drinking? Not a lot. I mean, technically, yeah, sure, it can kill you, it can destroy your health, so the consequence is still huge. But that often isn't enough to dissuade us from actually drinking. But if you're in amazing shape, right? You're running, you're, I don't know, doing 10Ks and your business is flourishing and your relationships are the best they've ever been and, I don't know, you get married or whatever. If all these things are happening, then if you drink alcohol, guess what happens? I'll tell you, because I've built my life and drank again, and guess what happened? Everything just got destroyed. I dismantled my entire life and listen, we know what the story is. We've all been there before. So if you like this idea of going towards a better quality of life instead of running away from the pain of alcohol and the war stories from the past, I have good news. This is a major part of my program. So if you want me to guide you through a process that involves controlling drinking, right? It's a 48-hour process that uses something called first principles thinking. That's the first thing we do. That process is proven, it's tested, it works for 92 to 97% of our clients. That's the first thing. But the second thing, the most important thing, is this focus on the future. And if you want to be held accountable to a better quality of life, you want to do it with a group of other people, you don't want to do this on your own, then what I'm going to urge you to do is click the link in the description to book a free roadmap call. What we'll do on that call is we're really going to dive deep into your situation and just see if my method of reframing alcohol, first principles thinking, and this future focused approach could be a good match for you. Either way, we're going to dive into your situation and reveal some of the biggest motivators that you've got in your life, which is going to leave you feeling pretty awesome anyway. So I would say it's going to be one of the most valuable calls you've had when it comes to not drinking. So if you want to book one of those calls, click the link down below. Let's see if working together could be a good match. There'll be a limited number of spaces on the calendar. So if you do want to book a call, just go and click the link right now. Choose your time. Can't wait to speak with you. Have a great day.